It's time!
Yes, indeed. It is time once again. Good morning, Detroit. Good morning to everybody listening all across the world. My name is Eric Juwan, sitting alongside this week, as always, on my co-host, Jeremy Bryan. And for the second week in a row, we have no Evan Hoy.
In and out.
I know Evan's been working his tail off and everything, so I can't knock him for not being here. Guys getting his hustle on. So
Respect.
Much respect to that. But again, this is the newest edition of Speak Your Piece, coming to you live from Cave Radio Broadcasting, CRBradio.com. And again, of course, as always, this was a sports radio Detroit production, but
slipped up there.
Man, it's just habit. Just happen to do that every now and again. But ladies and gentlemen, I do have some good news. Jeremy has no longer fumbled the situation.
I didn't fuck up this time.
We will have a video recording of this week's episode. So yes, we've had about a 3-week hiatus on our YouTube channel, but the hiatus is going to be coming to an end. Hopefully everything works out great here. But again, make sure you're following us on our social media platforms. Following us on, again, Facebook.com/SpeakYourPiece313. The Instagram handle SpeakYourPiece313. And again, make sure you're following us on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're looking for Speak Your Piece. And again, finding a video clip of myself, Jeremy, and the few of with Evan on there. So, but Jeremy, listen, man, I hear you got some good news for us here.
I do.
You got a good start. So before I get into the good news, why don't you tell us how's everything going for you so far? How's your week been since the last time I seen you? And again, because we had a very busy week last week.
Yeah.
We were pretty much together the whole day last week. But what's changed in the past week since I've seen you, man? Talk to everybody. What's going on?
The week's been pretty good. No complaints. Just that, as I said, do have some news.
Uh-oh.
I got a new job.
Hey!
I got a new job. I went for the drug test today, and funny story about.
Did you pass?
Well, yeah, of course I passed.
Hey, listen, you gotta, we gotta ask.
So, but yeah, that's actually the funny story I was trying to get at too. So,
all right, talk to him.
So, I'm old school. So basically, I know the regular drug test is urine test.
The pee in the cup situation?
Yeah. So
okay.
When I got there, she was like, "Oh yeah, this is like a little stick that you just put in
huh?
your mouth."
Huh?
So she's like, "This little stick that you put in your mouth and under your tongue. So it's a saliva test." I'm like, what? All right, this is different because the ride up here, I got gas. I put gas in the truck, grabbed something to drink. So now I'm just in a truck, just driving to this place. I've been throwing back Mountain Dew this whole entire time. Getting to this point, I'm like, all right, I'm about to go in here, pee in this cup, and then it's about to be done. It's like, nope, nah. Here's a little stick to put it underneath your tongue. It usually takes about, 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes. But honestly, I was done in a minute. She's like, all right, it's full now. Like, what? The little...
Excuse me?
Yeah, the little thing fills up and it shows up on her computer. She's like, oh, yeah, I love it when people get it done quick.
Pause.
And that's what I wanted to say in that moment, but I was trying to keep it professional. I was like, oh, no, don't let me say this, right?
I'd have said that already then. Well, listen, that's the first time I've heard anything like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, to the viewership listening when this video goes up, leave in the comments if anyone's had to go through that, because to me that's new. I've never heard of a drug test where you have to do a saliva drug test.
Yeah, like a little swab or something like that. Because like I said, I'm old school. I just thought peeing in a cup. All right, we done with that.
Peeing in a cup.
But nope, this is some way brand new shit. But
that's completely new.
But how have you been since the last time I seen you? How's your week been, man?
So my week has been, for the lack of a better term, uneventful. But
uneventful is always good sometimes.
I guess not terribly uneventful though. I did officially go back to work. So I got back into retail. This is only a temporary thing, the way how I tell myself is just to build some money back up, everything along those lines. Put some money back in my pocket because again, I'm getting married and gotta
have fun.
Gotta make sure I got funds to have a wedding and to afford a honeymoon. But with that being said, also speaking of the wedding, shit is getting real.
It's getting real.
Shit is getting very real. I actually went today before we started recording here. By the way, happy 2/22 of 2022.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday. But is that like saying two chains?
Basically.
Two chains. But before I actually got here to the studio with you today, I actually went and got measured and everything for my tux. So
oh, nice, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm actually that's
shit is getting real damn
yeah.
right?
So my fiance, she's already got her dress.
we got a guess here.
Oh, go ahead, man. What's the word?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. That's what everyone
everyone
keeps telling me. I'm scared now.
Been there, done that twice.
Twice?
Don't do it.
Hey, listen. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's a whole different story at that point. In time.
First time was my fault. I did.
First
Second time.
You learned your lesson after that one.
Don't do it.
Well, listen, that's just an older man. That's an OG's advice, not necessarily my own. You know,
older wise man advice. You know, keep that in mind. But
exactly,
follow your own path.
But yeah, I got fitted. I got measured for a tux. So me being the bigger size that I am, I went to a little like a local shop. I like to support small business as much as possible.
Respect.
And and the guy told me, he goes, I'm gonna be real with you. He goes, I ain't got nothing in your size, but I can order it. So I said, all right. Let's at least order it. Let's sample it out, kind of make sure, it all works out well, see how it fits.
Yeah.
And then again, if it don't work or if it don't feel right, you can always cancel everything at that point in time. So
yeah,
we still had to put a down payment on everything, which I thought was kind of strange. It's like, okay,
how much like, down payment?
Well, it actually wasn't too bad. I won't say it on air because I don't want my fiance to hear and be like, you spent how much?
Oh, okay.
I'll leave that one alone. But yeah, outside of that, man, it's just back to work and getting ready to get married here and everything. So we're already looking at getting ready to book our flight to our honeymoon and everything. So,
ooh.
Yes, man, shit's getting real. I think really the only thing left is to go and find my ring, in all honesty. Other than that, everything else is pretty much kind of solidified at this point in time. So.
What are you guys looking at for a ring-wise? Like, you got anything specific?
I got her one,
yeah.
And I know she hangs that over my head. To a degree. I thought we were going to go get it together. Baby, I got it on a deal. Well, I thought we were supposed to go get it together, so I haven't heard the end of that one.
When the price is right, you get it then.
You would think, but listen, in regards to a ring for me, we're still kind of looking, in all honesty. Like, we're just looking for a good ring at a fairly decent price, because we're going to do something down the road for another ceremony in a few years. And like I've told you off mic and like I've said on air, our goal right now is, yes, we want to get married, but our major focus is to buy a new house right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to invest a bunch of money into something that's only going to last like one time. And, at that point, and in that aspect too, we're going to do again in a few years. So like it's a quick and simple version of the wedding now versus when we buy our house and everything. That's when the whole big shindig of everything will happen.
I got you. I can understand that. Don't go too wild and crazy on the wedding up front right now. Research says the people who spend less on the wedding last longer.
That's the whole
throughout
thing.
the marriage. And you guys have plans that you have in mind. You want to get that house. You want to build everything up.
Absolutely.
After that. So go light right now for the marriage, for the wedding. But then afterwards, once the house and you get all this other stuff established, boom, go crazy.
That's it. That's it at that point in time. So, but yeah, I mean, just shit's getting real out here. That's all I can say.
It's getting real, man. I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank you, man. So when's your turn?
My turn for what?
You know what?
What we talking about?
Are you just gonna play dumb like that, huh? All right, cool.
What we talking about?
I'll leave that one alone. Hi, Jamie. All right, well, Jeremy, let's get started. We got a couple of things we got to get into here, man. Where do you want to start off here, man? We had some things going on during the week, some things that got some big reaction here.
I know we don't want to start off with the thing that got the biggest reaction. So how about we hop into the NBA All-Star Weekend? Did you get a chance to see any of that?
I did get a chance to watch some of it, and I kind of told you my situation here off. As to what happened. I don't have cable anymore to a certain degree, so. And I'm not paying for streaming television because this shit adds up really quickly. But so I found a way to get it done. I found a way to watch the game. I didn't watch Friday. I wanted to, though. The celebrity game looked pretty cool. A couple of names on there that I knew. Yeah. I wanted to see Myles Garrett, dunk out and everything. But
Myles Garrett looked like a huge block just running down. I'm like, come on, what is happening? Right? He's dunking on people.
Looking like the Hulk.
Yeah, like, why are you here, man?
I didn't watch the Rising Star one. Did you get a chance to watch that one?
That's on Friday.
That's the rookie, sophomore, and the four guys from the G League.
I watched the intro. To be honest with you, I did not watch the rest of the game though.
I know the team that had Cade Cunningham won, and Cade Cunningham won MVP of the game for that one. So.
I did see that, yes.
So shout out to Cade Cunningham, Detroit's own.
Detroit representing
Detroit rookie getting that one. So do we want to get into Saturday, or do we want to jump to Sunday first?
Let's do Saturday.
All right, so Saturday comes around. Saturday, they give us 3 events. We have the Skills Challenge, which I like the new format of this.
I do as well. I like that too.
I did like them. So the new format, they changed it up a little bit. Instead of it being just, teams shooting jump shots and everything, and kind of making it like an individual thing, they had a group, they had teams of 3 competing against each other. So you had the Antetokounmpo brothers, the rookies, which included Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey, and who's the other kid? I'm blanking here. I'm blanking
on them too as well.
Cleveland Cavaliers. So you had the big Josh Allen, you had Evan Mobley, and then you also had Darius Garland. And by the way, after watching that, keep an eye out for Darius Garland. That kid's going to be a star. That dude is nice. That kid's going to be a star. So in regards to that, I like the format change. They switched it up a little bit where you had to do it all as a cohesive unit. The scoring aspect kind of, confused me a little bit.
That was weird.
It was like if you won this one, you got 100. Then you got, if you won this one, you got another 100. Some craziness like that. Yeah, couple of ties in the opening rounds too, which I thought was kind of crazy. And then it ended up being that the Cavalier team ended up winning the skills challenge on that one. Evan Mobley shot that half quarter.
That was a second shot too, man.
That was I think it was the Cavs' second shot. So shout out to them. A lot of people were dogging the Rooks in the first part of it, looking like they were confused and didn't know what they were doing. But
they were coming up, though.
Yeah, but they made it to the final. They made it to the final on that one. So that was the skills challenge at that point in time. Then you had what I believe to be the highlight of the night, the 3-point shooting contest.
I think the skills challenge was honestly the highlight for me. But the 3-point, I respect the 3-point, man.
Yeah, so the 3-point shooting contest happened, and you had a total of, I believe, 9 players here. Let me see if I can find the roster. So I know you had...
Trae Young.
Trae Young was there. You had Luke Kennard. Fred VanVleet from the Raptors.
Yep.
You also had... oh, my gosh. Let me see. I'm pulling up the events. They had a bunch of people there. Hold on. Mountain Dew 3-point contest. Here we go. Let's see who the roster was. Pardon me. Okay, here we go. So you had C.J. McCollum from formerly the Portland Trail Blazers, now New Orleans Pelicans. Trae Young from the Hawks. Zach LaVine from the Bulls. Desmond Bane from the Grizzlies. Karl Anthony Towns. Fred VanVleet. Luke Kennard. And Patty Mills. Those were all the people who made that one. So the final 3 came down to it was Luke Kennard. Who was the other one? Was Patty the other one?
No, it was Luke Kennard, Trae Young, and Cat.
Trae Young and Cat, yes. Now, Luke Kennard won the first round with 28, which I
was surprised.
Yeah, I was shocked by that one. Yep. My pick for this one, in all honesty, don't get me wrong, like I was kind of riding with Zach LaVine for this one, just because
that's not who I thought you would have picked.
Well, I'll tell you mine in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just I don't want to sound like I was going for the winner at this point in time. But
I was going for the winner.
I was going for Karl Anthony Towns, but I had this weird little dark horse feeling that Zach LaVine was going to pull it off. Zach LaVine would have won multiple trophies at that point in time. He would have been the first player to win a dunk contest and a 3-point. But that obviously didn't happen. So Luke Kennard set the bar in the first round at 28 points. Karl Anthony Towns and who do we say? Trae Young both made the cut at 22 apiece. So they tied at that point in time. So because Karl Anthony Towns, was the last person I think Trae Young was the last person to shoot, correct? In the first round?
In the first round? No, it was Luke. So Luke went first.
No, Luke went first.
Luke went first.
No, but I'm saying the first round, who went last? Was it Karl? It may have been Karl.
I thought it was Fred.
Anyways, all we know is when it came to it, second round, the final round comes around, and here is Karl Anthony Towns shooting first, and Karl Anthony Towns took the 3-point contest by storm, upping Luke Kennard's 28 to 29 and pretty much solidifying it at that point in time right there. You had Trae Young who came in. I think he only put up 20-ish.
28 was his final, I think.
Was his final, and then Luke Kennard, who started off hot, didn't finish out the greatest.
Nope.
So Karl Anthony Towns is the first big man to win the 3-point contest.
Is he really the first big man?
All right, they're claiming him to be the best three-point shooting big man, but I truly believe.
I thought there were past big men that got in here.
I don't think so. I don't. He may be the only big point. Jeez, I can't talk right now. Big man to win the 3-point contest. So
you're probably right.
I could be wrong. We can fact check that here somewhere down the road. And then, what most people believe to be the highlight of the night turned out to be the biggest disappointment of the night. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the dunk contest here. Now, Jeremy, do you want to get into this one? Not really.
If we have to.
Unfortunately, we have to. So, dunk contest. Obi Toppin won the dunk contest.
Which was my pick. I just want to let that be known. That was my first pick.
Listen, to be fair, out of everybody who was competing, there really wasn't much competition for him.
Can you get a trophy to nobody? Is that possible?
I would have, in all honesty. But I want to shout out Juwan Anderson, who I did not know was of Mexican descent. So shout out to him. I liked the jersey that he made.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the shoes that he did with it, too, all with the Mexican flag.
That was pretty cool.
But
Cole Anthony dunking into Tim's, I don't understand this at all.
So Cole Anthony was the other competitor, and so was Jalen Green. Jalen Green, the Houston Rocket rookie, which, by the way...
That is your boy.
No, it's not.
That is your boy.
All I have to say is this. I don't want to hear shit about Jalen Green ever again. That man has talked so much shit. Don't get me wrong. His in-game dunks are great. They're very exciting, right? For in-game dunks. He's dunked over like some of the best people. You know, I told you, he can jump out of the gym. But what the hell I saw on Saturday, atrocious. My mom was sitting there screaming, when is he going to stop?
Because you get 3 attempts.
You get 3 attempts.
They don't count the attempts when you
don't have control of the ball. So Jalen Green probably got at least 10 attempts.
I know, by 5 I was done. I'm like, all right.
And
just put the ball in the hoop.
And the thing is, these guys kept going for the same one. Like, no, I can get it. Listen, by the second attempt, if you ain't getting it, you might as well just give up on it, right?
My thing is, there's a practice period, right, for this? Am I correct or no?
No. So
you just go out there and just freestyle it?
Hold on.
Pause.
So they don't set out time for this. Like when you get honored to go to the All-Star game and all the All-Star events like this, you don't do this. You don't do this they don't set time for you I can't make practice. You're doing this pretty much while you're in practice, your own regular practice.
Oh.
So there is really no time for it to really be done prior to hand, right? Now again, they may give you some time during the All-Star break. Okay, we're going to set X amount of time off for, the All-Star players to practice. Because they do that they do that every now and then. I know they do that on NBA TV where the East Coast team, back when they were still doing East and West, they would get to practice together.
Live practice, yeah.
No one cares. Because especially at the rate the All-Star game goes, there's no point in practicing at this point.
But if you got selected and you knew you were going there, a week before this, you got practice in your home court. You don't want to try out some things and be all right, let me get a couple dunks in mind, which I can potentially somewhat do.
Right. And which, by the way, I didn't know Cole Anthony was the son of NBA basketball Greg Anthony. I did not know that either. But listen, Cole Anthony starting it off, showing his New York bias and dunking in Tim's. You can ask my fiance. I was screaming at the TV because I thought this man was going to break his ankles dunking.
He was probably about to. Why would you attempt to do this?
I don't know. I mean, look, that's New York for you, though. The Tim's thing is a New York thing, but
it is. But you are not that type of street baller like that you can go out here and dunk.
No,
you're not that type of player, man. So chill out. Just get the gym shoes. Put the Nikes back on. The Timbs are not for you at all. And the simple fact that he didn't lace these bitches up before going out there, so now you're wasting more time for me to watch this while you sit here and lace up your Timbs.
So listen, let's just wrap this dunk contest thing up, right? This was by far the worst dunk contest in NBA history. All-Star weekend.
We haven't had a good dunk contest since 2016. That's for real.
And that took some time to get there too.
Yeah, it did too. Yeah.
Because after, Vince Carter did it, and there were a couple good dunk contests prior to them, right? Thing is though, no one's creative anymore. And there's only so much you can do. Now, I do have a bone to pick with my man Stephen A. Smith. I love Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, he was upset.
I mean, he was mad, right? He was mad. But I'm mad at Stephen A. Smith.
Why is that?
I'm mad at Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith went on television and preached our idea from last year.
Oh.
About finding people off the streets, some of the
Yes.
best dunkers and this and that. We talked about that here last year after the dunk
Absolutely, yes. I remember
That was our
yes.
idea.
Yep.
And now Stephen A. talking about, like, he's making it sound like it's a brand new idea and all this other shit. And Kendrick Perkins, that's the best idea I've ever heard. Dog, we've been saying that shit for over a year now. At least over a year. We put it out there over a year ago, but we have been saying it for a while. They need to do something different, right?
Absolutely.
The NBA Twitter world hated the dunk contest. People want the dunk contest gone after this one. They want to see a one-on-one matchup now. So
I wouldn't mind that either. A one-on-one tournament. If we're gonna add more to Saturday night, and if you really want to eliminate the dunk contest, do the one-on-one tournament. I have no problem with that.
my man Stephen A. Smith fucking tried to take our idea and make it sound like it's his own. I love you, Stephen A., but you can't do that, man. You can't do that to us.
But yeah, on a real note, dude, search the globe for the top best street dunkers, rec dunkers, whatever you got right now. Give them an opportunity to showcase their talents here on Saturday night. Fly them out to wherever you want to go to. I believe the next All-Star game is in fucking Utah, I think.
I don't even know.
I think it's in Utah, but fly them out there, especially if the NBA is going to be so cheap and not throw money at, this competition at all. If you're not going to sit here and say, hey, we'll put prize money up for it, at least give them the opportunity to
they should. Now I think if they go that route that we and Stephen A. have talked about, about getting these people, all across the world and doing a dunk contest.
Yeah.
Winner goes home with at least, $1 million.
But I'm just saying, like, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. But if they don't do that, just because I know how weird the NBA is about that, this at least gives younger athletes an opportunity to showcase their skills, whether they're trying to go to the G League and they got looked over, or if they're trying to get a college spot or something like that. Showcase their skills,
some incentive.
Yes, to entice these coaches or someone to be like, all right, let's give you a shot. 10-day contract, something like that. At least something, because I know the NBA is not going to throw a huge bag at this contest just for once a year. They're not going to do that.
You know what, man? I'm really disappointed Drake wasn't out there judging this dunk contest. Because I ain't seen so many sixes on that fucking board ever in my life. That shit was bad.
It was so funny because they had a little technician trying to fix Isaiah Thomas's
screen. Oh, and he got stuck. Yeah, I saw that. I felt so bad.
I'm like, dude, we're just messing up left and right. This is a bad sign. It is not going to be a good dunk contest.
It didn't start off the best. So then we get to the main event of the weekend. You have the Team LeBron versus Team Durant, which, by the way, side note, I have a new take on this as well also.
What's that?
So one thing they announced on there, couldn't attend, right? And by the way,
there's a bunch of people that couldn't attend.
Right. Donovan Mitchell last minute out sick, couldn't attend the game. So Team LeBron or Team Durant, I believe it was. No, Team LeBron was down a guy. All of a sudden, they come out with the news right before the game starts. Chris Paul's got a fractured thumb, but he's still out there playing the game. Like, dog, what are you doing?
You announced James Harden too, and he didn't do anything. So,
right, James Harden is there, and he already said last minute, I ain't playing because of a quote unquote hamstring injury.
So find another replacement. Why are you even announcing him? Why is he on?
Well, his replacement was Jared Allen.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
His replacement was Jared Allen. But I have something I want to adjust to that too. Players who are out injured, I understand they get voted in, or teams bring them in and everything, right? The reason why I bring it up is because again, Kevin Durant, they announced he is a 12-time All-Star, but he has not competed in the last two, right? He hasn't competed in the last
two.
It's been the last two All-Star games.
Oh wow!
Because of injury, right? Or it's been at least 2 or 3 of them. I know he's been out, right? If you don't make it, shouldn't count. If you can't play, I don't think it should count.
Okay.
On top of that, too, if you know you're going to be injured, or not if you know you're going to be injured, but if you are injured and and you are like the leading vote getter, right? So like how Kevin Durant has been the leading vote getter for the second year in a row, and it's been him and LeBron, right? Team LeBron, Team Durant. I don't think you should be able to pick your team anymore. I think the next person who had the second most votes in that conference or in that division should take your spot.
I can see that. If you know you're not going to play, then yeah. Then
right. Now again, like if he says, "Hey, I'm injured, but I plan on being there for the All-Star game," that's different. But if again, he's known the past 2 times, "Hey, I'm out injured and I know I'm not going to play," then you should not be able to pick the team.
Okay. Yeah,
is that a fair assessment?
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't erase the being nominated off their resume though.
But see, I do though, because again, like you're not like you get it, but you're not playing. Like, do you get what I'm saying though? Like
could it be like a 12-time nominated, 10-time NBA?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like you've been nominated, 12 times, but you've only been able to perform for 10.
Yeah. Like, all right. Yeah, I can see that.
That again, that's kind of what I elaborate on that aspect. Maybe my take of it being deducted automatically was a little extreme, but yeah, it should be something like Oscar nominations for the movie theater. You've been nominated 5 times, but you've only won one. Right? Exactly. Yeah. So, but getting back to the game here itself, pretty easy, free flowing game per usual. The first 3 quarters.
You say it was boring.
Yeah, it was kind of boring. The
first 3 quarters were boring, and I'll tell you right now, if it hadn't been for Steph Curry sinking those 16 threes,
my God,
this you would have turned this off honestly in the second quarter.
Fam, I don't know what got into Steph Curry. I really don't.
I don't know either, but he was on
that third quarter. The end of second quarter, whole third quarter performance. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Steph Curry was hitting shots. He did his typical turn around in the middle of the shot. But what was
he did it 2 or 3 times?
Yes, but everyone was giving him flack, or not good flack for the one where Trae Young went to go get him, and he got him off the dribble and then jumped, took the shot and then just automatically turned around, didn't even watch it going, he just knew. But I tell you what, the picture that they got of him turning to the crowd, not looking and it's going in
and pointing did it go down?
It's classic. That's such a classic photo.
Oh man.
But yes, wrapping that up here as well, wrapping the game aspect itself up. Fucking LeBron doing LeBron type shit in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much won the game. It was down by 2 points. LeBron took the last shot and won.
Damn, turn
around jump. I mean, it's LeBron, man. What do you expect? You knew LeBron was going to somehow be pivotal to this, knowing it's in Cleveland. But Steph Curry did take away the MVP award and did walk home with the first ever Kobe Bryant MVP award,
which looks nice.
It does look great. I'm glad they got rid of the clear transitional basketball.
Although that one is a classic, though. But yeah,
it's a classic. Nice. Before we get into the halftime section of it, the Diamond Team, as NBA calls it, your takeaway from the All-Star weekend as a whole and the game also.
If I could rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10 the whole weekend. I know it's going to be bad.
6. If I'm being honest. It's 6. Like I said, I enjoy the Saturday night a lot more. The skills competition primarily, definitely this year. But it needs to be improved upon.
I agree.
The dunk contest, as we already said before and last year, go out and get those street dunkers. Do something better, especially if
get rid of it.
Especially if you're not going to get top tier players before to come in here. If you're not going to get the LeBrons, the Zions, I know they're injured and hurt and everything like that. But if you're not going to get those big names, do something else. Change it up a little bit.
How did John Morant have 2 exciting dunks better than what was given to us in the whole dunk contest?
And you know what? You know it's bad too when on Sunday night when the game is going on and Reggie Miller is interviewing Ja, telling him hey, next year we need you in the dunk contest.
And Ja won't do it.
Yeah.
Ja will not do the dunk contest. Ja's going to be like LeBron, a guy who we should see in the dunk contest, but never
does. Yeah.
Never will see in the dunk contest.
Yeah. So, like I said, I enjoyed the Saturday night. Sunday, I knew what we were going to get, what we were going to expect, 3 quarters of soft play, and then the fourth quarter, because it's a target score at the end.
You'll get some defense.
You'll get some defense. You'll get some tough playing a little bit, but I mean, it's a 6, man.
But here's the thing for me, though, too, okay? Even with that being said, the 3 quarters is free play, right? If you
Oh no, I think I know where you're going with this, and I probably feel the exact same way too. Like, don't let me be an all-star because I will sit here and ball the hell out like Steph did.
Well, not even that. Okay, like not even that. You're playing for charities in the city that you're playing in, right?
Oh yeah.
If you give a shit about these kids and really want to make sure that their school makes a difference, dog, you better go out there and perform and play defense, all that shit. These guys don't.
Yeah, fucking kids.
LeBron's team. LeBron won all 3 quarters. My team. All right, cool. There's that. Dog. Y'all don't give a fuck about them kids.
Wait, I know it's in Cleveland, and I know LeBron's school was one of them.
Kent State I Promise program. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is his program
on the opposite team?
Yeah.
No, it was on his team. I'm sorry. I take that back.
Well, that and also like, why is his charity for them? Like, shouldn't you pick another charity? You're already like contributing to this school and everything like that. Why are you just giving more money to the same school you're already giving money to begin with? Pick another charity.
I plead the absolute fifth.
Pick another charity. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the one was for like the Akron food drive and everything.
Yeah.
And then it was like the Kent State I Promise program, and all right, cool. There's that then. So
LeBron's already giving you money. Just pick another charity. Come on.
And then I've seen something too where I think it was ESPN was saying something like they were showing quotes from the All-Star weekend and everything, and like they made the caption that I guess Steph Curry is initially from Akron, Ohio too.
Yeah, that's what popped up on ESPN, like the Ohio natives showcase and shine in the All-Star game. And I'm like, isn't LeBron the only one from
That's
Ohio?
what I thought. Steph Curry is from, he has always claimed Charlotte.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden we did a little research to find out he was born in Akron or did a little bit of time in Ohio.
I was so confused.
I saw that too. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I'm
all
like,
right.
what?
So let's get to the...
So wait, what is your take on the scale of 1 to 10 of the All-Star game? Or All-Star weekend,
Like you, 5 or 6.
5 or 6, just nothing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I watch it because I'm a basketball fan.
Yeah.
Right? I like the revamping to the skills challenge, as I mentioned before. I thought it was a good update. It's not the same boring shit as it was, right? The fact you're doing it as a team, you kind of see how the teams perform in a cohesive unit. Cool. The 3-point contest, I think, was the most exciting thing from that one. But, the only change that they've done is the Mountain Dew ball, which now counts for 3 points. So you have the regular basketballs that count for 1, the money ball that's 2. And if you get those 2 Mountain Dew ones off, which is a little bit past the 3-point line, you get 3 points off of that. That's cool.
I wish Cat would have hit that. He would have got me some money because I did bet on the over, but
Dog.
whatever.
You stay with the bets.
The over was 32. My man had 30. Like, come on.
He had 29.
29?
Yeah, 29.
If he would have hit that Mountain Dew ball, I would have been straight.
No, he would have had 32 on the dot. You said the over was 32, so he would have had to hit 33.
No, the over is 32. So, like, I have to hit just 32, and it's a push, basically.
Oh, my God. All right.
But I digress. Go ahead.
We definitely digress. So let's get to the halftime ceremony here.
Wait, which halftime? You want to talk about?
No, we're not talking about DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled and his friends came out.
He's the best.
No.
And there's a new album coming out, apparently.
Why am I not surprised? Khaled puts out an album like every year to 2 years. I don't care. I'll listen to it when it comes out. I'm not running to like pre-order Khaled's album this far in advance. I'm not. Sorry.
I just want to know if you've seen the Migos lip syncing.
Yes, I did. Especially Takeoff.
I was like, why are they lip syncing? Is this weird?
Nope, cool. They were lip syncing because they were over there talking into the mic and like I can barely hear Takeoff, but I hear the audio a lot better. I'm like, oh damn, man, they don't even care. All right, let's get to the halftime show, the main halftime show. It's the 75-year anniversary, as they call it in the NBA, the diamond years of the NBA. And listen, I'll tell you what, I liked how they did the breakdown of the 75 players. So instead of just having it all be in alphabetical order, they started off with the forwards. They went to the centers after that, and then they did the guards, which, as you come to learn, most of the most memorable names in the NBA come from the guard section. If you really think about it, right?
Yep, that's true.
I was a little sad. I'll be honest with you. I was a little sad they didn't give Kobe the last spot, especially knowing how iconic Kobe has been to the league, especially over these past 2 years. I was a little sad they didn't, give him some shine. But I'm sorry. Fucking putting Michael number 1 as the last fucking player, and then you put him at the top in that little ring all by himself. If I'm Charles Barkley, I'm fighting somebody. I'm fighting Michael at that point in time.
That is wild. They didn't know if he was actually going to make it to the event or not either, because
that's disrespectful.
As you know, 2 of his racing cars for NASCAR were going that same day as well too.
In the Daytona 500?
Yeah, which Bubba Wallace came in second, I believe, as well.
But, yeah, he didn't win that, not that much.
Yeah, so that when the event ended, he literally had to chopper all the way to the airport, and the airport all the way over here to Cleveland just to make it in time for this halftime show.
And they put him at the very last fucking spot, the 75th spot.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. The ceremony was really, really good. I'm glad they did it, right? But y'all are assholes putting fucking Michael as the last person. Y'all are assholes for doing that. There was really nothing different at that point in time, but I'll tell you this right now. If the NBA can invest in extra time to get their 75 players off, NFL, do something. Do something for your halftime show, because we got fucking robbed. Don't get me wrong. The halftime performance is iconic. It's great. It goes down as one of the best halftime performances as we talked about, right? But if we could have had a longer period of time, had a few more songs from each person, I think that automatically goes down as the best halftime show performance.
Yeah, you got that same amount of time for the 5 artists that were at the Super Bowl. Iconic performance. This is the top performance that you could have got. I honestly feel like I said at least 30 plus minutes to the 75th anniversary ceremony, because you introduced everybody, you gave them their little couple minutes here. You also had an intro for the positions as well too. So Tiffany Haddish, Usher, and
I forgot about that.
Somebody else was there to
JB Smooth.
JB Smooth, yeah, was there to basically announce, these are the guards, these are the forwards, your centers, everything like that. So yeah, you took a good 30 plus minutes doing this whole ordeal, especially setting up and taking down the whole stage and everything like that. Also, them getting their photos afterwards as well too. So come on, man. You did 30 plus minutes. The NFL can invest in this time and do wonders, especially if it's the last event of the year too for them.
Yep. So I'm looking at it right now. I opened up on YouTube, and again, I don't know how much of this. Oh, this is NBA on TV. They have it timed at 26 minutes and 33 seconds. So, and that's pretty much how that went down.
And then they went back to Chuck, Shaq, and everyone in the booth as well too before they got back to the game. So
yep. So,
but yeah,
shout out to the NBA.
Were you upset with the couple people they left off the 75, or?
We talked about that initially when it first came out.
Like the no Pau Gasol, no Paul George, Clay.
I'm not necessarily too mad at Pau Gasol. I mean, Pau Gasol is in my opinion a great. But at the end of the day, like guys who really made a difference, like no Vince Carter.
Yep.
Vince Carter. I'm sorry. I understand
Tracy McGrady.
I thought Tracy did make the cut.
Nope.
Tracy didn't make. Okay, yeah, no Tracy McGrady for that one. I'm sorry. Those two got to be on there. The fact that fucking Dwight Howard was not on there.
Yeah.
I understand. He's had his issues, and the NBA has kind of had their stint with him as well. Also, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like that's not right. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard should have been on there. You want to talk about championships? I'm sorry. I think at least, somebody from the championship Pistons team needs to be on there. Again,
I agree with that as well.
Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame as an undrafted, player to win a championship.
Not even up there.
Not even up there. And here's the other thing too, right? They mentioned from the original 50 that they added the same 50 players were there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means they only added 25 people. Well, in 25 years, you can only imagine how much talent is going to be in there at that point in time.
Yeah.
Somebody off of the original 50 is going to have to come off. I'm sorry.
I think, you have to go back and revamp and reevaluate all these players to make sure, all right, are we going to keep the same people we had from last year, or are we going to switch it up a little bit?
Yeah. So, but we'll see. We got another 25 years. So, in 25 years from now, we'll see how that turns out.
Right back in Cleveland.
I hope to God not.
No, that's what they do every year. So, if you've noticed, like, for every 25 years they go back there just because the Hall of Fame and everything is there.
Not the basketball.
Not the basketball Hall of Fame, but like the Rock and Roll.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'd rather. So where's the basketball Hall of Fame? Isn't
Kansas.
It's in Kansas?
I believe it's in Kansas.
I'd rather fucking go to Kansas, even though there ain't no team out there. There ain't no team, but that's at least where your basketball Hall of Fame is at. Like, you can go look at the campground, but I get it. There really ain't shit to do out in Kansas at that
There's
point.
nothing to do out in Kansas. I mean, hell, I don't think there's anything to do in Cleveland. Like,
I didn't think so either, but we went through that. I shared a link with you guys as well, also from the few years the All-Star game has been in effect.
mm-hmm.
There have been multiple cities that have had multiple All-Star games.
Multiple.
And Detroit has never had one. So, NBA, if you can get boring-ass Cleveland to get an All-Star game,
Boring-ass
I think Detroit can have an All-Star game. So, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
That's another thing, too, because I was looking at the list the past couple, 30 years, at least since we've been alive and around to acknowledge the All-Star game. All the cities that it's been through, New York, Utah a couple times, L.A., Dallas.
Utah get an All-Star
Dallas a couple times.
Orlando's been on there a couple times.
Orlando, Vegas, all this stuff. We need one.
And Vegas don't even got an NBA team out there.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They got a WNBA team, but not a regular NBA team. So.
We at least need to have one. Or next year or later on down the line, switch it up. Do something different. Have it outside or something, you know.
If the NBA All-Star Game goes back to Vegas knowing gambling is legal now, you thought that clip you saw of the players in the locker room was bad, you're going to see it double time. You're going to see it double time.
They're going to be at the tables all night.
All right, Jeremy, let's move on to our next topic here. We got to talk, man. We got to talk, and it's not a good look right now. It's not a good look, especially for my school, for excuse me, for the men's basketball division.
Oh, boy.
So, on, what was it? On Sunday, right? Sunday?
Yep.
So on Sunday, you had a Big Ten conference game going on. Michigan took on Wisconsin, and I didn't watch the game. But
I didn't watch it either, but Michigan needed this win, though.
Michigan they're not having the best season like they had last year. Obviously, a lot of ups and downs. I know there's some injuries in that aspect also. But, apparently there was an issue towards the end of the game where the Wisconsin head coach took a timeout that, most people would call an unwritten rule where you don't need to take a timeout like that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's to quote-unquote reset the clock or reset the half-court clock and everything. But again, I believe Wisconsin was up double digits at that point in time.
Yeah, at that time they were up 76 to 61?
Something along those lines. So it was like almost double digits. The game was over at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So as the game is concluding, the game comes to a conclusion. Like most team sports do, you get in the line, you shake hands and everything, right? Juwan Howard didn't get in the line at first.
Yeah, at first.
At first, he did not get in the line. But then as they got in line, you see the two coaches, exchange some words to each other. Juwan Howard kind of pulled his mask down, said something real quick, and then, the Wisconsin head coach, Coach Garland, I believe his name is?
What was it, Greg Garland?
Greg Garland, I believe it is, yes. Oh, Greg Gard. Sorry, Greg Gard. Sorry. And then Greg Gard kind of grabs Juwan Howard by the arm, like, hey, let's talk about it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Juwan didn't like that. Juwan didn't like being touched. The players from both sides tried to get involved in everything, try to split the coaches up and everything. Security's kind of involved. Well, Juwan Howard is so built up off of this because they're still talking and arguing. Juwan Howard reaches across, and he got a pretty long wingspan. He's a former NBA player, NBA champion too.
Yep.
And bitch smacks the assistant coach. Now, this is not Juwan Howard's first incident, right? You and I talked about this off air. I think there was an incident last year.
In the Big Ten tournament?
I believe so, yeah, where he kind of pushed somebody or shoved somebody, whatever the case may be. So in regards to this, Juwan Howard has been suspended for the remainder of the regular season. Again, a lot of people were wondering what was going to happen. I know the Big Ten Conference Commissioner came out and said that, and Michigan's athletic director came out and said it was totally unnecessary, shouldn't have happened. Let's kind of watch this video here real quickly before we, oh, come on.
What?
Why do I need to sign in? Oh, I understand. Okay,
this video might be inappropriate for users.
maybe. Let's see what I got here. All right, so as you see, they're shaking hands right now. Oh, yeah, see, Juwan Howard grabs him, got him.
Gripping him up real quick.
He gripped him up and then let him go.
Mask off.
Yep, that's when you know it's about to get bad. Juwan Howard, they're yelling at each other. The game's over at this point in time. You think the broadcast is about to go off. And then there it is, the smack. Apparently players got involved. I don't know.
There's a couple players suspended too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see where... Oh, yeah, okay, now I see. Yep, a couple of fights started right there. So, yeah, it ended up being a pretty nasty scene. A couple sucker punches got thrown and everything. So, Jeremy, I have to ask you here.
Ooh.
This is...
and actually, like later on in the video too, you'll see the assistant coach that he hit actually goes out and does like a little DX chop, hits him with a chop real quick. To suck it.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, what?
I don't know if they'll play it in this video or not, but
This is a 3-minute video, so it's a possibility. Hold on, let me keep an eye on it just to kind of check and see. But Jeremy, as we talk about this here, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at with the mouse. Okay. As we talk about this here. Oh, damn, they still going. See, I didn't see this part.
Yeah, see, it went off the air after, like, they kind of broke it up and moved out, but, like...
Okay, there's a replay of it. I want to watch this one when I get home. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. But, Jeremy, as you and I talk about it here, we talked about it, preluded to it earlier. This is not Juwan Howard's first time this has happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's a man who, stands up for his players and everything. They went on to explain, that he was mad about the timeout, thought that it shouldn't have been done. Both coaches went out and explained their piece. I wonder if I can actually pull the video up here real quickly. But I digress at this point in time. But knowing this is his second incident now, he's already suspended for the end of the regular season. Mm-hmm. If Michigan makes it to the tournament, he's allowed to come back, right?
Yeah.
If you're Michigan, and again, I'm not asking you to, from your state bias side. I'm asking you to be realistic here. At the end of this season, do you contemplate moving past Juwan Howard?
I really wouldn't. Like, I know last season, you guys, it was a fairy tale season for you guys last season. So this year, not going the best of ways for you all right now. But if you do somehow end up in the tournament, more power to you,
If they make it to the tournament, should he continue to be suspended for that as well?
I don't think so. I think the remainder of the season is perfect. I know a lot of people are basically asking for his head right now to be off for this incident because you shouldn't do this, especially as a head coach, a leader to these young men, young athletes out here like this. You shouldn't be acting like this. And this being your second offense too, I think he's on a short leash right now, especially with the athletic office. You got one more time to mess up, and then boom, you're out. That 3-strike rule. 3 strikes, you're out on this one. If I'm being honest, if you really wanted to slap somebody like you did, you should have slapped Chris Webber's ass back in the tournament days. If you really wanted to slap somebody.
I saw that meme.
If you really wanted to slap somebody, you should have done it to Chris Webber, not this dude right here, because he was just trying to sit here and explain to you what he was
But
trying
he shouldn't
to
have
do.
touched him, which I agree. He should not have grabbed him up like that.
Yeah.
Both of them are wrong.
Both of them are in the wrong. Not this doesn't all fall on Juwan Howard.
Coach Guard is wrong for grabbing Juwan by the arm. Juwan is wrong for grabbing him up. But you see, he realized, oh shit, I've got him.
He gripped him up because when he walked by, and they don't really say this, but he says to him like, "Hey, I'm gonna remember this.
I'll remember that for next time.
I'm gonna remember this." Yep. But on the flip side too, there's only a couple seconds left in this game. You're already up double digits. Juwan,
why call the timeout to begin with?
One, why call the timeout? It doesn't really matter to you anyway. You're going to win this game. 2, Juwan, why are you having your bench players, your scrubs, sit here and go into press coverage, full court press coverage anyway? It doesn't matter anymore at this point.
Right.
Why are you doing it? Just let it go.
I'm with you. I think, if I'm being honest, if Michigan does get into the postseason, because of the degree of what happened and what ensued, I think it's best if he sits out for the postseason too.
Oh, wow.
Only because, again, if you...
But wait, the March Madness tournament, or are we talking about the Big Ten tournament? I can see if he wants to sit out for the Big Ten tournament, yeah.
All of it. I think he should sit out all of it.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I say this is because, again, if obviously there's only 5 more games left in the regular season, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But again, the postseason, though, you will have all eyes on Juwan Howard, making sure he's not going to, do some shit like this again. So as a conference and as a administration, it may be best for him to, hey, listen, I know we told you the rest of the regular season, but, you guys got, you're going to make it to the play, you're going to make it to the tournament now.
Mm-hmm.
You may be best, just so it brings the heat down off of, the school as a whole.
Yeah.
Because, again, if the school lets him back in, then you look at the school. Oh, you guys are just going to let him in. You guys don't really care about the punishment aspect, this, and that. Take the rest of the season off. Now, again, I'm in the same boat as you, though. When the season's over, we got to have a sit-down talk. We need to have a sit-down talk.
Mm-hmm.
And if this happens for the third year, because this is his second year coaching, right?
Yeah, yep.
This happens for a third year in a row.
Out.
We can't do it no more. We appreciate what you've done for the program. We brought you back after all the scandal and everything with the Fab Five. We gave you a chance. And again, you've done great by these kids for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we can't continue to have this knowing you're now a liability at this point in time.
Absolutely agree.
At that point in time, you've got to just be careful what happens here.
I mean, you already got one head coach disrespecting your university as it is. You don't want to.
What do you mean?
But Jim Harbaugh flirting with the NFL.
Oh, flirting with the NFL?
Yeah, you already got one head coach disrespecting your university. Don't make it two.
Well, speaking of Jim Harbaugh, great transition. See, I used to be transition king, and now it's you. Well, speaking of Jim Harbaugh here, news came out that Jim Harbaugh has agreed to a new 5-year deal with the University of Michigan. He has signed a 5-year, $36 million contract. And again, it says with the Wolverines after flirting with the NFL over the offseason. Jeremy, again, I know you're not a Michigan guy, but again, seeing that Michigan has extended his contract for another 5 years, it's a little bit over $36.5 million a year. They call it 36.7, but
yeah.
I've just rounded down 36.5. It ends up being roughly around $7.5 million a year, something along those lines. Your takeaway from Jim Harbaugh or Michigan giving Jim Harbaugh a contract extension?
If I'm being real,
oh boy,
I think for Michigan, this is a placeholder head coach position while they look ahead right now.
In regards to what aspect?
Because even though he signed this extension and everything like that, if you look at the years for the buyouts, they go down lower and lower and lower, depending on if he chooses to continue to stay coaching with Michigan or if Michigan decides to cut ties with him as well, too.
So let me read this article here. This is coming from CBS Sports here. So Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh has agreed to a new 5-year deal. Annual compensation starts at $7.05 million in 2022 and goes up steadily to $7.63 in 2026. In all, that's more than a $3 million increase from his 2021 base salary. This is a quote, "I love Michigan football, the University of Michigan and Ann Arbor community," said Harbaugh in a statement. "My family and I are excited to continue leading this football program, and we are thankful for the support that our athletic department and university administration have demonstrated towards the team. The deal,
sure you are.
The team includes the new deal includes multiple incentives. A national title will pay Harbaugh $1 million, as will a Big Ten championship. An appearance in a national semifinal and a Big Ten East title win will net $500,000 each. And a new Year 6 appearance without a division title will send $200,000 Harbaugh's way. Harbaugh will earn $50,000 if he is named Big Ten Coach of the Year by the conference's coaches, and another $75,000 if he is named the National Coach of the Year by one of the major voting organizations. It's a lot of money there, man. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of incentive there. Yeah, if he chooses to stay.
Because I guarantee you, the season goes up and there comes an open position for the Raiders or the Cowboys. You mean to tell me if that position comes open, he's not going to flirt with that idea a little bit more?
You really think he's going to potentially play with the idea of the NFL, even though he stated that it was a one-time thing?
Of course he is, man. Of course he is. I don't believe this statement that he puts. I love Michigan. I just wanted to see what the NFL had to offer. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Come on, baby. I was just playing.
Bullshit. You know you want to go back to the NFL so bad. You just want that opportunity in that space. And it didn't happen with Minnesota because unfortunately, you actually had to interview for the job, and they weren't going to give you everything.
They weren't just going to hand it over.
They weren't going to give you everything that you offer because, from what I heard, he wanted complete control of the team. Basically, like with trades, free agents, all that kind of stuff like that. He wanted complete control, and they weren't about to do that. So that's how he ended up back here at Michigan, saying, "Oh, I love Michigan. I love this team. I wasn't going to leave. I was just talking to him.
Come on, baby. I'm just kidding."
But like I said, with the buyouts and everything that are added on to his contract and everything like this, if Harbaugh decides to leave or Michigan sees that, hey, in the next couple seasons, you're not doing so hot, you're not doing so good, we can easily buy out this contract for less than $500,000.
It'll be interesting. I'll tell you that much. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And again, he's got to, Harbaugh's had a really great year last year. He had a really great year. But again, you have to build off of that now. Like, you beat Ohio State. You got to beat Michigan State for sure. That you got to beat both schools this year.
Yeah.
And get back to the national title play, or get back to the Big Four.
National title play. Like you said, you got to beat us, the Spartan Dogs, which is going to be hard next year, and you got to beat Ohio State, because if you come off of this year with the tremendous success that you had, and it just is a shit show, a downfall, oh man, you're going to be out of there so quick. You're going to be out of there so quick. You're going to be jumping, running to go to Miami to coach the Dolphins or the Jags or the Texans, somebody.
All right, well, since we're still here with college football, let's do a little bit more college football talk, and then we're going to have to take an intermission here. So the conversation has happened over the past couple of years now, like seeing the 4 schools, get in and all this other stuff, right? Like, oh, what's going to happen? Should they expand it? This, and that, right? Well, a couple of days ago, the college football committee got together. They talked about it. What should we do? What are we going to do? And it comes out here that the playoff board of managers announced on Friday that it would not be expanding beyond 4 teams until after 2026. The announcement comes after collegiate athletic leaders would not come to any sort of agreement on the way the playoffs should be expanded in the coming season. So as of right now, it looks like we won't get anything, any expansions in regards to 6 teams, 8 teams until at least 2026. Let me take a look here and read this quote that they have here. The Board of Managers has accepted a recommendation from the Management Committee to continue the current 4-team playoff for the next 4 years, as called for in the CFP's original 12-year plan. At the same time, the board accepts the Management Committee to continue its discussions on a new format that will go into effect for the 2026-2027 season. That's coming from the director, Bill Hancock. Even though the outcome did not lead to a recommendation for an early expansion before the end of the current 12-year contract, the discussions have been helpful and informative. I am sure they will serve as a useful guide for the Board of Managers and for Management Committee as we determine what the playoff will look like in the beginning of the 2026 and 2027 season. Jeremy, your thoughts on this, on the football team, on the football playoff not being expanded until at least 2026?
I just want to know what the real conversation was, what the voting process was. Was there really, truly a conversation about it, or were they just like, all right, well, they want to add a couple more teams, but these are the main universities that are potentially bringing in all the money towards these college bowl games and these top 4 bowl games as it is. So it's like, should we really expand it anymore? They're our cash cow, and like just continue to have those conferences back in the college playoff every single year. But I would at least flirt with the idea a little bit. Just try it out. Try something. Start off with, expanding it 2 more teams. Making it 6. At least seeing what the possibilities could be out there.
No, I agree. That's probably what I would have done too, in all honesty, is just, I would love to have seen them give it a shot. Like, hey, let's play with it. 1 year, do 6, see what happens. And then at that point in time, we'll figure out what goes on at that point in time. Like, if 6 didn't do it, we'll go back to 4.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I understand the not wanting inconsistent amount, but to wait another 4 years just to get to
that
another
seems so long to even want to bring up the conversation again.
Right.
Come on.
It doesn't look good, you know. It doesn't look good like we're going to get any expansion or any more teams made to the college bracket anytime soon. So
I'm literally just expecting SEC championship, the national championship game every single year for the next 5 years.
At this point in time. Yeah, this is from Yahoo Sports that we're reading from. And it says in the second or third paragraph, a 12-team tournament seemed like the most obvious way for the playoff to grow, but logistical issues ultimately stood in the way. Conferences couldn't figure out how the 12 teams were qualified. Would conference champions automatically get a bid? Would at least one non-Power 5 team be in the playoff? The lack of progress on the expansion front led Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bosley to equate it to the movie Groundhog Day in January. I don't know, man. I don't know, but hopefully we get some changes here soon. So.
I hope so, man.
Jeremy, we're going to take a quick intermission here, and then we'll be right back in just a minute here, all right?
All right.
We'll get it going.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Sorry about that, folks. I had to take a little bit of a bathroom break here, and I didn't want to leave Jeremy all alone by himself, but did I miss anything? Did anything change?
No, nothing changed. No new news.
All right. Well, let's kind of get back into it here. I mean, at this point in time, we've pretty much knocked out all of our main topics here, so we have a little bit of fun here on this side of it. But Jeremy, let's talk about the Super Bowl parade that happened. So,
you mean the one that LeBron's trying to bandwagon on?
Oh my God! Oh, didn't we talk about that last week? I think we talked about it off mic. I think.
No, we talked about it on air too.
Did we? Okay. Yeah, so the Rams went out and had their Super Bowl parade. Good for the Rams. Matt Stafford looked like he was enjoying his life, living his best life. Aaron Donald was a little drunk, like, hey, I may run it back. I may want to bring it back and everything. But we got to talk about what happened during the parade. So first and foremost, injuries are never fun. I don't like to laugh at people that go through injuries, especially because, again, anything can happen in those injuries. But it's the series of events that unfolded afterwards, right? So there was a freelance photographer who was out there taking pictures of the parade, and she got on stage where everyone was holding their speeches and everything, right?
Keep in mind, this stage is like
it's a big stage.
It's built up to.
Yeah, it's a very big stage.
It's like a platform. It's like overlooking the crowd, so
yes.
It's very large and tall.
Yes. So this young freelance photographer was out there, taking pictures. And she was scooting back, and all of a sudden she reached the end of the stage and happened to fall directly on her back at this point in time. So people were checking on her, everything along those lines, right? There's video, though, if you catch the video aspect of this, where, again, Matt Stafford and his wife, Kelly, I believe her name is?
Yep,
Kelly. Matthew and Kelly Stafford were, on stage, and they kind of see it fall at this moment in time. As Matt Stafford sees it fall, you see him go, you hear him mouth the words, "Oh my God," but instead of running towards her, he turns in the opposite direction, takes a swig of his beer, and just kind of walks back, right?
Handle it, baby, handle it.
Yes, Kelly Stafford goes out there, checks on the freelancer, and obviously she's in a lot of pain. Come to find out she fractured her spine.
Yep.
And it's come out stating that, Matthew Stafford and the Rams team will be contributing towards the cost of her medical bills and everything for the surgery, everything that it'll take, right? But Matt Stafford is under a lot of flack for handling that the way how he did because, again, if he's seen it happen, people feel he should have ran out there, ran to her, make sure she was okay instead of instead of his wife doing it, right? But there is a side note to that. One of the things they tell celebrities in a situation like that, or at least athletes, any celebrity of that stature, right?
Yeah.
They tell you when a situation like that happens, don't go near it. They tell you to walk away because if you go near it, it potentially puts you in liability for whatever may happen, right?
Yes.
So, Jeremy, I'm going to ask you, as you're over here laughing, which first off, you're an asshole for laughing.
I know I'm going to hell for that, but...
Do you think Matt Stafford was wrong for, not running over to the young lady and making sure she was okay?
No.
You don't think he's wrong at all?
No, he's not Captain Save a Hole. What the hell? Look, I get it. she's a woman in need, and yes, I would go and check on her. But as you said before, when you're a superstar with a lot of potential money in your pocket, going over there to check to see if you can like reach down and grab her help puts you at risk of being liable for this whole situation. That's why he pointed to his wife and be like, "Hey, baby, go handle that." Ooh, I ain't going over there.
Go handle that, baby.
I ain't going over there. But now it's the sense that, like, for him getting shamed on the internet for this, and that's why the hashtag frat boy staffer started popping up everywhere, of him getting shamed to now having to go out and pay for this woman's medical bills. It's like, whoa, so just being rich now implies that
you're responsible?
That I'm responsible, just in case if you fall in front of me, I am now responsible for you and everything like that along those aspects? But on top of that as well, too, like after the incident and before Matthew Stafford and the Rams put out their press statement that they were going to pay for her medical bills, there was already a GoFundMe page put out for her that has already raised $50,000. So where does that go?
But at the same aspect in that point in time too, when you're freelancing, for those who went to journalism school and everything, and you freelance, I understand you're doing what you got to do to get to that, to get that good moment, that good picture in this woman's case, right? But when you're freelancing, you're an independent contractor. There's no insurance or anything like that.
Exactly.
Like, how can you? And I understand why people think the Rams should be responsible. Yes, because she's at your parade. You guys are hosting the event, everything along those lines. But you're a freelancer. You put yourself at risk at that point in time.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do if you're a freelancer? Oh, I tested positive for COVID because I was at the Rams parade. They should pay for your COVID testing? No.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. And besides it, as you said, you're a freelancer. There is no insurance out here for you. And also, why aren't you watching where you step? Like, isn't that, how high this platform is? The fall down, it looks rough.
And there's only so much, space.
There's only so much space. Like, if you're going to back up, at least back up and look at where you're going. Not just, oh!
Right.
I'm down on the ground at this, but did you hear what happened afterwards once she was in the hospital and everything?
No. At least I don't think I did, but go ahead and enlighten me.
So afterwards, once, the Rams came out and Stafford came out saying they will pay for her medical bills, the internet and folks on the internet like to go and do their Googles and their research.
The internet did their internets.
And they went back in time and found some very racist and homophobic tweets from this young lady from when she was 14 and 16 years old. So that doesn't look good on her side either. So she might be canceled as well, too.
Everyone's got a past at this point in time. People grow up. People fucking learn from their mistakes, And for God's sake, it's Twitter, for God's sakes.
I know. Like, come on.
We all said stupid shit on Twitter at one point.
We've all done this. Like, you gotta forgive this. Like, come on.
Yeah, this is wild.
She's grown. She's learned. Let it be.
More football news here. In development with the Brian Flores thing, there is no development in regards to the actual story of it right now. Although I think I did see something that popped up while we were recording here. Actually, there was something. Brian Flores declined to sign Dolphins NDA in order to speak out on treatment by team, he says on HBO's Real Sports. So if that's not out yet, it'll probably be out tonight. So I'll take a look at that. But shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. As in regards to Brian Flores, you gotta love that there's at least one team trying to make a difference here, right?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers signed Brian Flores as their senior defensive coordinator for the team. So you now have Mike Tomlin, who is the head coach over there, the only head coach of African American descent, and has now brought along with him, or is now added to his team of coaches, Brian Flores, an Afro Latino of that type of caliber to his organization. So shout out to Brian Flores. We're still waiting to see exactly what happens in regards to this, this lawsuit that's pending as of right now. If it's going to be a civil lawsuit, whatever the case may be, we're still waiting to hear from that. But I'm glad at least Brian Flores has some type of job in the NFL as of right now. So.
Yeah, I definitely respect that. I hope it was Mike Tomlin that at least told the
Pittsburgh Steelers
organization to vouch for him, to be like, hey, bring this guy in. I know what he's going through. I know his struggles right now. It might not look good on the front of our whole organization, but he has a good heart, knows what happened back there in that situation in Miami, and he's just trying to do right by the situation in a whole. So I respect that decision. I respect that move. Hopefully everything works out right.
I hope so too, man. I hope it all works out. You apparently have a fake report you wanted to joke about and talk about here.
Well, so I think it was last week. Yeah. So this rumor came out that Patrick Mahomes had a sit down with his wife, baby mama, and his brother, talking about that he wanted to ban them from the games going forward in the future.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So this was just an alleged rumor by someone close to the Mahomes family somewhere in ESPN. But come to find out later on, once this information came out via Twitter, social media, it popped back up on TMZ. Patrick Mahomes made a statement saying he did not have this sit down that everyone is talking about with his wife.
They lied on him?
Saying that he lied on him and everything like that. But since we're here, I want to be real with you, E.
All right, I'm listening.
I want to be real with you. I do believe that the sit down of banning them from the future Chiefs games didn't happen, but
Banning them from TikToks?
a sit down did happen between them, saying that, hey, I need y'all to chill out with this whole TikTok thing. 'Cause y'all are making me look bad. I haven't won any hardware or any championships since y'all blew up on TikTok the last time. So y'all got to chill out with that. You still cool to come to the games, but stop fucking around on social media because you're making me look bad. And it's not a good look right now, okay? So chill.
Listen, TikTok is the devil if you ask me. TikTok is the devil. I don't know why, because it wasn't it Juju Smith, all that TikTok dance he was doing this shit the last year.
Oh, yeah, Juju.
And then all of a sudden, bloop, everything went downhill. Patrick Mahomes' brother and his wife are out there TikToking. Bloop.
Yeah, y'all got to chill out, bro. I ain't won nothing.
NFL players, you got to stop. You got to stop TikTok.
I ain't won nothing.
You got to stop. Let's kind of go back to NBA here real quickly. We got a couple things here we can kind of attack real quickly. This is a report that's come out earlier today. Apparently, up until maybe about a few moments ago, Zion Williamson had not been in contact with CJ McCollum since he had gotten traded.
I seen that. I'm so sick of JJ Redick right now. I don't like this guy.
What's wrong with you? What's your issue with JJ Redick?
Because he's just a smart ass right now. He's just going on his rants now that he's done with the NBA, basically spilling his guts about what happened in the league behind the scenes and everything like that, and how he believes that these NBA stars are acting and how they shouldn't be acting. He sat here and said, I think it was on First Take, how when he got moved around to different teams and all over the place, how he reached out to all these certain stars and these players on the team saying, hey, I'm happy to be here. This is going to work out for the best for us and all this stuff like that. If you're a bench or a role player in that type of position that he is, you want to reach out to be like, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to push this team, this organization to the next level. Yeah, that's fine. But for Zion not to reach out to CJ McCollum, I mean, who's to say just because he didn't call or text that he didn't reach out in another type of way or on social media or something like that, or someone else had a phone call with CJ and Zion was on the other end? Like, why does it have to be like a direct line between Zion and CJ McCollum?
Well, I guess let me ask you this then to that degree, right? I get what you're saying. Like I get if you're a role player, yes, you may want to go ahead and do that, right? But let me ask you this. Again, Zion is, as of right now, the face of that organization, correct? As of right now.
As of right now,
right?
Next year, on that email, it looks a little different. Looks a little suspect.
But with that being said, if you are the leader of this team and you do acquire another star talented player like that, don't you think it is your obligation to reach out to them like, hey, welcome to the team. We're excited to have you here. Yeah. Looking forward to working with you and seeing what you can do to help add to our team. Like,
yeah,
as the face of that, I definitely believe that should be happening.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily to say that he didn't do it on social media already. I don't follow Zion like that as well, too. But if you do look at his social media right now, he's basically removed all the kind of Pelicans stuff from his banner on Twitter and everything like that. So I don't know what direction he is. I do think that he is just so disconnected from the organization right now. He's just out here living his best life, doing whatever he is. He's probably ballooned up because I know for damn sure he's not working out as much.
So actually, Evan sent us something here too about Zion, and I think this is kind of crazy. I don't know how true this is or not, but I want to read this to you, and I don't know if you've seen it or not yet. But as of right now, this is from an Instagram page called NBA Memes Official. And again, we can look into this. It says, if Zion doesn't play any games this season, which thus far he has not,
I don't think he will either.
he will only have played 85 games in 3 seasons, which is only 3 more games than Greg Oden did in his first 3 seasons. And it's funny that they bring this up, right? It's funny that this comes up because I saw something from Bleacher Report about Charles Barkley sitting down with Dr. J and talking about like what his experience was like getting to the NBA.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley has said it on numerous occasions, right? The story that changed his life and being in the NBA. Moses Malone was his big, right? Like kind of like his pro that, you know, he had to work with. And Charles Barkley, and I'm going to kind of recap this video I saw, right? And he goes up to Moses Malone and he asks him, he goes, Moses, he goes, how come I'm not getting no playing time? How come I'm not getting no practice time, right? Like, what's going on? Moses Malone gave it to him as straight as anybody probably could give it to him. He goes, Charles, you're fat and you're lazy. And he told him, he goes, at that point in time, Charles Barkley is about 300 pounds. You know, again, Charles Barkley coming out of Auburn was no scrub either, but he was a bigger player.
Big dude, yeah.
He was a big dude. I'm telling you, you're 300 pounds. You can't play in this league at 300 pounds, right? So Charles Barkley says, he goes, I went out of the room, I cried, you know, everything along those lines. You know, shit that you normally go through, right?
Yeah.
But Moses Malone told him, he said, look, you want to lose the weight and you want to get better, I'll work with you here. I'll help you out and get there, right? The reason why I bring that up is because that is the same talk that people have about Zion, that he is very similar in play, athleticism, things along those lines, to Charles Barkley. It has the same issue as Charles Barkley, the weight.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to lose the weight at this point in time.
Yeah.
He has to lose the weight.
I absolutely agree, but you know how cupcake and soft the NBA and the league is right now.
Nowadays.
No one is willing to sit there and have that harsh, hard conversation with Zion. Just someone needs to come up and look, bro, you're not playing anymore unless you lose the weight. And take this serious, man. You are a star back in college. Right now, you're not amounting to shit. You're about to be a bust right now in a minute.
He already looks like a bust.
Well, yeah.
He already looks like a bust.
You're about to be named a bust right now. And I see, like, great potential in you, but if you keep this road up, like, you're just going to fail, man.
Now, and I guess that's the question, too. Like, if you're I know, and I think we talked about this last week, too, or a couple weeks ago, but now you got to ask that question again. Again, he hasn't reached out, up until, you know, about an hour ago, the report came in, right before we started recording, that he finally reached out to CJ. But with that being said also, it don't look like he wants to be in New Orleans. It's been documented that he don't want to be there, right?
Yeah.
So if you're the Pelicans, what do? You have a generational talented player in your possession. Like, you have him, and you know he can be great, but he doesn't want to lose the weight, right? He does not want to lose the weight. Or at least I won't say he doesn't want to. We'll leave it as he's struggling to lose the weight, right?
Yeah.
At this point in time, he's also injury prone because of the weight on your hands too. Like what do? Do you sign this guy to a rookie extension? Do you sign and trade him and try to get some pieces back for it? Like, and at that point in time, let's say you do sign him and you try to trade him, what is the real value for Zion Williams?
That's a good question as well too. I think you would get a little more for him than you would Ben Simmons as of right now. But honestly, I would try to do that sign and trade. Otherwise, I'm buying him out. Like, it's it, man. Like,
this is the second year of his rookie deal, and he's automatically, I believe, he can get an extension as of this year. But I think he may have one more year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would either buy him out or try that extension and
try to trade for him,
because it's apparent he either wants to go to Memphis and play with Ja or to New York to join up the rest of the Duke squad that you got going on over there.
I don't know, man. And speaking of New York, I think that team's going to get traded out at going into next year. I do, in all honesty.
Really? Who do you think's leaving?
I think, call me crazy. Julius will be part of the sign and trade deal for Zion Williams.
I mean, it's a good look for the Pelicans.
Yeah, but Julius Randle already played there.
Yeah.
If he played underneath Anthony Davis. And as of right now, look, I'm telling you right now, looking at this right now, there's a lot of players that I think are liabilities to the league. James Harden is number one liability to the league.
Oh, of course.
Like at this point, like again, you force your way out, like we talked about last week. James Harden, you force your way out, of two situations in back-to-back years. Julius Randle, you're in New York. You're in the media capital of the world. You guys gotta look at your season right now and admit that you flopped from last year, right? But because you guys are playing so bad, what do? You give the fans a thumbs down? Like, you better tell everyone, kiss my ass? Like, you can't be that touchy in the league. You can't, man. You can't be so sensitive.
You can't be that sensitive, especially in New York. Yeah, it's a tough media market right there. You know people are going to talk shit about you, regardless whether it's ESPN or the local reporter that's covering your games that night. You got to let it roll off your back, man, and just go on to the next game and try to improve. Otherwise, this whole media world is going to eat you alive. You're going to be back to the Pelicans on the bench.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like Julius Randle, I would love to have him on a team, but I'm also very cautious of bringing him along too. Like, okay, like you built your way up, right? Like again, you got drafted to the Lakers. You worked your way around a little bit, right? You played New Orleans, and now you got to New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave you Most Improved Player of the Year last year. You looked like you could have been an MVP conversation at that point in time. You have a bad year, and now you're taking it out on the fans. In my opinion, you're a liability. You're a hazard at that point in time. It's like, like, what happens if you go to this team, you have a great year, and then you have another up and down year? Are you gonna boo everybody? Are you gonna be pissed off at everybody? Like, people will hate. What's the phrase? Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters will hate. People, will love you for what you bring to the game. But it's like, you can't just be booing people, man. You can't.
I mean, you got to look at it this way too. Not a lot of players are built for the criticism in this league as of right now. I feel like there needs to be a class when you're a rookie to be like, hey,
how to handle media.
Yeah, how to handle media. What do you do in this type of a pressure, in this type of situation? Just other situations that you can do to improve yourself and how you act and carry yourself. Because you're not only a promotion for yourself, but you're also a promotion and brand ambassador for the teams as well.
Did you see this also? This came out a couple hours ago. Apparently, Joel Embiid spoke on the Ben Simmons situation.
No, I didn't hear it. What did you say?
It's a small quote here that they pulled up. This is from Malika Andrews and NBA TV, but Bleacher Report is sharing the quote. It says, this is Joel Embiid. I did a lot of chasing around. Tried to get him back and tried to make him feel comfortable again. It was tough. I didn't care anymore. Joel Embiid on the Ben Simmons situation at that point in time.
I think that's everyone on the team. Like, we tried, but
we did what we could.
We're trying. All right, look, you don't want to be here? That's fine. We're going to continue on without you. You do you, boo. You do you, boo.
I don't know, man. Just, it's a lot. It's a lot right now.
What are the other players you feel are liabilities in this league? I know you said Harden. I know you mentioned Julius Randle. Is Kyrie one of those?
Kyrie's one of them. And again, I love Kyrie. I really do. And I know we got to go on the apology tour every now and then, but seeing the way how Kyrie handles himself, where it's a me mentality over a we mentality, it's a liability, man. It really is.
Now, big question here. Do you feel LeBron could be a liability from his recent quotes of, hey, I'm not opposed to going back to Cleveland, and how he wants to play with Bronny his last year, no matter what team
I don't think that's a liability in that aspect. Like, especially right now where the waters are at in LA, like, everyone has known ever since Bronny was starting to make a name for him, or starting to get traction under his name and everything. Like, everyone knew that was going to be the end goal, because people kept saying, "Oh wow, but LeBron's still playing. He may have a chance to play with his son." Well, now that's only 2 years away. At this point in time, you might as well call it inevitable. At that point in time, like.
But do you feel like teams are willing to bet the cow and do everything they can to get LeBron over here as well too?
I think he'll sign regardless. You could honestly have, you can have Bronny go to Toronto, and LeBron will play one season in Toronto. It'd literally be, hey, I'll pay you to have me on your team, for God's sakes. Like, because LeBron already said it's not about the money at that point in time. It's not. Now, again, where will Bronny fall? Because Bronny's in high school right now. I believe it's his senior year.
Yeah.
And then he's got to do 1 year of college, and we don't know where he's going to go play college at either. But, yeah, 2 years, and who knows? Like, the Lakers may try to trade up for Bronny just so they can get the era of LeBron in their stadium. Okay, we pick up right where we left off.
Oh, man.
No. It's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Worst case scenario, where would you put him, or where would you see him going?
Some people are speculating Golden State, putting Steph Curry, Bronny, and LeBron on the same team.
That wouldn't even work.
I don't know how that works.
That doesn't work.
I'm not. It's a speculation that's out there. Best case scenario. I mean, again, I guess it really just depends on what happens. But if New Orleans gets Zion off the books and they get a draft pick up for the trade, okay, cool. You can see Bronny go to New Orleans. You'll see LeBron play in New Orleans. But LeBron's take on it was for him going back to Cleveland, because that was a big article, obviously, because of All-Star Weekend being in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He said, I wouldn't mind coming back to Cleveland, right? He did go out and say, though, it wouldn't be as a player. So you're not going to see LeBron go back to Cleveland again, unless the hypothetical of Bronny getting drafted in Cleveland happens, right?
I just hate that he got their hopes up. Because as soon as he
you read the whole quote.
As soon as he said that, everyone was like, LeBron can come back, you guys.
Well, again, that's when people just read the headlines. Because, again, I read the headline, yes, and I said the same thing. Oh, there's a possibility LeBron may go back for one more season, right? But then he reads it. He said, and he directly says, not as a player. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up here.
I'm not coming back to play for you all, but I'll be back eventually.
Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Because that shit, I said, hold on, wait a minute.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was fit?
Let me pull up on my computer. Sorry for the delay, folks. I apologize, but now we got time to kill here. If I can type correctly.
Also, I want to ask you if you started watching the shows on HBO Max yet.
I still haven't watched Euphoria.
Still haven't watched Euphoria? What about Steph and Aisha's show?
That one I did watch, yeah.
You did?
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like
that one. I would actually like to do as a real date night thing. If you get some friends together and ask those questions.
Cool. I like that.
But I'm afraid we'll learn some shit about people I don't need to learn about.
Learn some wild shit.
All right. So here's what we go. This is coming from ESPN, and the headline reads, LeBron James, doors not closed down, and return to Cleveland Cavaliers.
He's coming back, yo.
My last year will be played with my son. And it goes on. The door is not closed on a potential return to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that is his last season in the league. Will be played with his son in an interview with The Athletic ahead of Sunday's All-Star Game. James, who is back in Cleveland for his 18th appearance in the All-Star Game, is currently in the first year of a 2-year, $85 million contract he signed with the Lakers in the middle of the season. He won't be a free agent until 2023-2024, which would be his 21st season in the league. The door is not closed on that, James told The Athletic on Saturday when asked about a potential return to the Cavaliers. I'm not saying I'm coming back and playing. I don't know. I don't know what my future holds. I don't even know when I'm free. James, who's from Akron, Ohio, played his first 7 seasons with the Cavaliers before going to Miami, then returned to that. Told The Athletic he's not interested in taking a discount after his current contract is up, but left the door open for a possible exception. My last year will be playing with my son, James said. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not about the money at that point in time. And then it says Bronny's a 6'3" point guard playing high school at Sierra Canyon. Is ranked as the 43rd prospect in the ESPN 60 for the 2023 class.
It's not very high.
No, actually, I thought it would be up higher than that, but who knows?
Oh.
He'd be eligible to be drafted in 2024. LeBron James is 39 years old.
Once again, he's still not saying he's not coming back and
but
not
he
playing.
Tells you.
That's what I'm getting from it. That's my interpretation.
I'm not saying I'm coming back and playing. I don't know.
I don't know. It's not saying hey, I'll come back and just be in the office, but I might come back and play 1 more year for the Cavs.
Listen, I would tell you this right now, okay? If this is the case, I want LeBron to sign a 1-year deal with Cleveland A one-day deal.
A one-day deal.
A one-day
retire?
deal. Yes. After the game, you retire. You play with your son. You retired in Cleveland, if that's the case where he fucking lands, and go home. Go home.
Work on Space Jam 3.
No, please don't. For the love of God. My mother watched that movie. She's like, well, good thing I didn't pay for it.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't think LeBron will go back to Cleveland. I don't. I not as a player. I think as a possibility as like a part owner or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think he'll invest in being a part owner. But in regards to, being a player or anything like that, wherever Bronny goes, he's going to play 1 year with Bronny and call it a day. That's it. That's it at that point in time.
Call it quits after that, man.
Oh, Jesus, God. Jeremy, you got anything else we need to get into here? Any fun stuff or anything like that? I feel like we've nailed everything, and it's only 6:30.
Yeah, not so much fun stuff. Some news reports did come out about Aaron Rodgers, about how he still hasn't made a decision just yet, but he put out a very cryptic message on his social media saying how he loves and appreciates everyone that he's played with throughout his career.
He gone.
And it's getting a lot of speculation of people saying that he might be retiring just yet, but he hasn't said anything yet. He came out on the Pat McAfee show today, because that's what he usually does with Pat McAfee. They're good, close friends. Gotcha. He said he hasn't made a decision just yet, but Green Bay fans are fearing the worst, and probably Tampa Bay fans as well, too. They should probably fear.
Tampa Bay fans. Staying with NFL here as well, too. This is an update we were talking about earlier as well. The Deshaun Watson case that was our big story over the summer. Yeah. A judge out in Houston did approve of 9 of the victims being able to, I don't want to say interrogate, but question him. But yeah. They're going to be able to question him during the court cases at this point in time also. So that seems to be a pretty big pivotal move at that point in time. So
I don't know where his future is going to be anymore. I don't know if this is it for him in the NFL. They're going to give him one more chance, some leeway. Like I don't know what's going to happen next for him.
I think it really just depends on what happens with this case. Like if he's found guilty, yeah, I would say this is probably it for him. Done. Or it's going to be, or again, it may not be it for him, but he's not going to be the star talented player that you risked all your picks to get for at that point in time. Yeah. So. Well, Jeremy, at that point in time, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up then. So
I think we can. Too, right. Like I said, I don't got anything else, but you need to hop on Euphoria for sure.
I know Evan and his wife are watching it. I've been trying to get my fiance to watch it with me, but we're invested in other shows right now. So
if you wait till next week, you can probably just binge watch both seasons.
That's probably what I'll end up doing at this point.
Because I believe next Sunday is the season finale of season 2. So.
Something like that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Speak Your Piece. Oops. That's not the main event.
This was the main event.
That's not the main event. Hold on 1 second here. That's it, folks. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Speak Your Piece. Again, coming to you live from Cave Radio Broadcasting, crbradio.com. Again, make sure that you are following us on our social media platforms. That's going to be facebook.com, Instagram at the handle Speak Your Piece 313. And now that Jeremy got the camera back up, we are going to be able to do YouTube again. Again, always great to have you listening each and every week. Jeremy, thanks for being here with me. A little bit of an early release this week, but that's all right. It is what it is. So, with that, we want to thank you all for your support each and every week. Peace.
Then again, that's the hero gig. Part of the journey is the end.
Money will come and go. We know that. The most important thing in life